Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a story based on the Avengers, and this one is called Time Warp Teamwork. Tony Stark has built a machine that lets the Avengers travel through time to fight crime. But when you mess around with time, there's always a risk that something will go wrong. This was published by Autumn Publishing, and let's get into it. One day, while the other Avengers were training, Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, was working on some new tech. Sometimes Tony felt very different from the other Avengers. They all had their superhero abilities. Well, except for Black Widow and Hawkeye, but they don't really count. Their combat skills were way beyond what any normal human could do. All Tony had was his Iron Man suit. When Tony got to the training room, the heroes were messing around. Tony scratched his head. What am I looking at here? Come on, Stark, said Hawkeye. Lighten up. We're all just waiting for our next mission. There's no crime to stop right now. So that's where you superheroes fall short, thought Tony. Time. I can fix that. Over the next few days, Tony worked on combining specific elements of his Stark tech to create a powerful new tool. Before long, Tony Stark had created a time machine. Tony suited up for the test run and stepped into the time machine. Jarvis, he commanded, set time for 2099. Calculate crime ratios and synchronize the coordinates. Yes, sir, replied Jarvis. Just like that, Iron Man was zapped to the year 2099, where Chitauri were attacking a group of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Iron Man sprang into action, swiftly taking down the Chitauri with blasts from his gauntlets. When they were defeated, Iron Man hit a button on his wrists. He was back in his lab a few moments later. That afternoon, Iron Man called his Avengers into his lab to reveal his amazing new invention. But Captain America didn't think messing with time was a good idea. Iron Man's temper flared. No kidding, old man. I don't take being a superhero lightly, unlike some people. Captain America's eyes narrowed. How does everyone feel about it? This is a democracy, after all. The other Avengers thought fighting crime in whatever time period was a good idea. Here are your missions, said Iron Man. Black Widow and Hawkeye, Jarvis announced, prepare to travel to 1840. The pair were suddenly outside Buckingham Palace, where Queen Victoria was under attack. Using their stealth and speed, the heroes took down the attacker. Then, with a push of a button, they were back in the lab. Captain America, Hulk and Thor battled evil robot wolves in the year 4029. Ah, woo! Thor howled. After defeating the robots, they zapped back to the lab. Soon it was Iron Man's turn. The time machine rattled violently. Too violently. Iron Man arrived in the year 1792. A masked man came round the corner using his blasters to destroy a local village. Iron Man and the masked rider fired their weapons at each other, and suddenly everything went dark. Iron Man opened his eyes. He was on the ground. He looked around, then he saw the villain round the corner again. So Iron Man got up and they both fired their weapons again. The same thing kept happening again and again. I'm stuck in a time loop, said Iron Man. He had no idea how to escape. Back in the lab, the team realised Iron Man was in trouble. They looked through Tony's plans, looking for a way to bring him back. Finally, they came up with a plan. If it didn't work, Iron Man would be stuck forever. Black Widow pointed her gauntlets at the machine, destroying the circuitry. Suddenly, the portal opened onto the strange desert scene. Cap leapt into action. I'm coming, buddy! Captain America jumped through the portal, protected Iron Man with his vibranium shield. Oof! The villain cried out in surprise before falling off his horse. The time loop was broken. As the portal started to close, Cap and Iron Man jumped through along with the captured villain. The time machine was completely broken. Iron Man decided not to try and fix it. You were right, Cap, he said. Time travel isn't something to take lightly. Cap put his arm around his friend. Good advice, even from an old man like me. And that was the Marvel Avengers Time Warp Team Up. Like, share, subscribe and support the video however you can. And I will see you real soon.